What is the worst possible thing that you can drink? Well, I've done a video about the top 10 worst foods, so today we're doing a video on the top 10 worst drinks. So why don't you pause the video real quick and leave a comment just to see if you're right, and make a few guesses, think outside the box a little bit, and put down what you think, and then after the video you can see if you're right. So we're going to start at the least worst and then go up to the worst of the worst beverages. Now, a lot of people may not like this video because we are going to talk about some things that people probably drink on a daily basis, but we're going to forge ahead. So here are the top 10 worst beverages. Number 10, now this may surprise you, non-organic milk. And I know you're thinking to yourself, I've heard for years that it's so good for me and all the calcium and vitamin D. Well, that's true, but I need to point out some things about non-organic milk. Number 1, the cows are fed genetically modified food, dairy cows that are not organic. So there's not a whole lot of studies that are showing the long-term side effects from genetically modified food. So you just need to be aware of that. Number 2, dairy cows are really pumped full of antibiotics, and when they have antibiotics, it's transferred to the milk, which can raise your risk for antibiotic resistance, which is, going to have a significant impact on you if you have to take antibiotics for infection. That could lead to a serious problem. And number 3, dairy cows are also treated with hormones. Those hormones can do the same thing as the antibiotics. They're transferred to the milk, which is then transferred to you when you drink it. So that's going to have impacts on your metabolism and just your metabolic processes in general. Now, organic milk is different. It is higher in omega-3 fatty acids, and actually 68% higher. Omega-3 fatty acids are so good for reducing your risk for heart disease and especially inflammation. And then organic milk is also higher in vitamin E, vitamin A, and antioxidants. And then in general, cow's milk can actually be an allergen, and it can promote digestive discomfort and symptoms. And the alternative is goat dairy, and that's really the best choice. Or you can choose soy milk or rice milk or something like that, but definitely try goat's milk first. Number 9, fruit juices from concentrate. So this is going to be what you typically see in the grocery store, your apple juice, your orange juice, your grape juice. So those juices, and a lot of kids drink these because parents think that they're healthy options for their kids. But the problem is they are loaded with added sugar. So they have refined sugar, they have high fructose corn syrup, which we've talked about in previous videos. So you're really getting minimal vitamins and a ton of sugar. And not only that, there's no fiber in the juice. So although it may taste great and it may provide you minimal vitamins, a little bit of vitamins, it's not providing you any feeling of fullness. So you're going to still tend to eat more and get more calories throughout the day. Number 8, coffee. Now, a lot of you aren't going to like this because most people drink coffee. But I want to focus on specialty coffee drinks that are loaded with sugar, caffeine, and calories. So these are going to be your drinks like your frappuccinos and your flavored coffees and things like that. So number 1, they're high in calories. So really, when people drink these throughout the day, they are becoming your meal's worth of calories. So you're drinking something that you may not even factor in, which is going to promote your weight gain. And number 2, they're loaded with sugar. So they're going to give you a high of energy combined with the caffeine, but then you're going to dip down, a few hours later and need something else to give you more energy. Caffeine is obviously a stimulant, but it's also a substance that promotes dehydration. So it's giving you energy short term, but it's not really real energy, and then it's dehydrating you on the other side of it. So those combinations are going to be what is working against you. Number 7 are sports drinks. Now, there are 7.5 teaspoons of sugar in 16 ounces of a sports drink. So these are going to be your Powerades, your Gatorades, your All Sports. Now, these don't have the benefit that the fruit flavored drinks have. They don't typically have the synthetic vitamins and they don't have any benefit of the fruit and the fruit flavored drinks. So they're going to be marginally better than that. The problem with these sports drinks is that typically they're used for rehydration for people who have been sweating, exercising, playing in sports. And yes, they provide you electrolytes, but they're so high in sugar that the replenishing of the electrolytes, it's contradicted because the sugar is actually promoting dehydration. So you're using a sports drink to rehydrate you and to replenish your electrolytes, but you're actually doing your body a disservice because your body really needs water to replenish it. And if you're working out less than an hour or you're sweating less than an hour, unless you're sweating profusely, you actually don't really need to replenish your electrolytes immediately. You can get your electrolytes in foods that you're eating, which is going to provide more benefit anyway. So those are going to be like your bananas are going to provide good electrolytes, cherry tomatoes, melons. So those are some good foods even after a sporting event or during when you're exercising. If you just need a little bit of electrolyte replacement or a little bit of sugar, natural, simple sugar that will provide you quick energy, those are good choices. So a lot of people will reach for the sports drink thinking they need to replenish their electrolytes, and why they're choosing that because it has sugar and it's giving them energy. So choose the fruits instead. Fruit flavored drinks. These are going to be your Fruitopias and your Snapples, etc. An 11.5 ounce container has 10 teaspoons of sugar, and it's not going to be just regular sugar. It's going to be refined, processed, and then a lot of times they have high fructose corn syrup in them. Not only that, studies have actually proved that kids who drink fruit-flavored drinks are twice as likely to gain weight as kids who don't drink these types of drinks. These drinks are really marginally better than soda because they have minimal vitamins, minimal minerals, minimal antioxidants. All those nutrients are so low, and it's typically only about 10% juice. Number 5, hard liquor. Now, this is kind of a no-brainer. Your vodka, Everclear, whiskey, these types of things, obviously have high alcohol content. They promote dehydration, and they also deplete your B vitamins. So when someone is drinking these types of drink, especially if they're drinking them excessively, they are basically sucking all the water out of their cells, they're getting dehydrated, and then they're depleting their B vitamins, so they're having low energy. And the problem with drinking excessively is that you have such a low B vitamin storage in your body that your body has such a hard time producing energy after you drink alcohol. And just because I didn't mention beer, that doesn't let you off the hook, because beer does the same thing, but just not as intense as hard liquor. So if you're drinking alcohol just in general, if you're drinking any alcohol excessively, that's not a good thing. So what could be worse than hard liquor? Well, number 4 is your margaritas, your Long Island iced teas, and your pina coladas. So these are your high calorie, high sugar alcoholic drinks. One margarita can have up to 740 calories and 14 teaspoons of sugar in one drink. Not only that, obviously they're alcoholic beverages. They're going to promote hydration and your depletion of B vitamins, which we just talked about. And the problem with consuming these drinks is, okay, maybe you do it on every occasion, that every once in a while, that's okay. But if you don't count it into your calories for the day, it's going to promote weight gain, because a lot of people don't factor in that the alcoholic drink they're drinking is 500, 600, 700 calories. And that's a whole meal's worth of calories. So you really got to realize that even though these drinks may taste great and, it's fun to get them when you're out socializing with friends, you have to pay attention, because these can definitely contribute to weight gain. Number 3 is diet drinks. Now, I know what you're thinking. It says 0 on the nutrition fact label, but these are full of artificial sweeteners. A lot of these sweeteners don't have long-term studies to determine the effects, but we do know for sure that artificial sweeteners promote your body's craving for real sugar. So you actually will be tempted to go seek out sugary foods. And then also diet drinks have been proven in a study called the Framingham Heart Study that people who drink at least one diet drink a day have a 44% higher chance of having metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is classified as increased waist circumference, so you're gaining weight in your middle section, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, high fasting blood glucose, and low HDL. So if any of those symptoms match up to what you're experiencing right now, it could simply be stopping drinking your diet drinks, and that could treat it right then. Number 2, energy drinks. This is a $1 billion industry. There's over 1,000 different energy drink brands now. I mean, they are really everywhere. Teens are drinking them, kids are drinking them, adults are drinking them. Everyone is drinking them for energy. Okay, the problem with these energy drinks is they are loaded with caffeine. One energy drink has twice as much caffeine as a Coke has. So that's telling you something right there. Okay, they're loaded with sugar as well. A lot of times they do have the high fructose corn syrup. They also promote dehydration because they are so loaded with caffeine. Energy drinks also are used for rehydrating. You know, people are, if they're thirsty, a lot of times they'll stop and get an energy drink. But, okay, so they're getting an energy drink to rehydrate themselves, and that's promoting dehydration. So it's working against you. And there's actually warnings, and they're in other countries on the energy drink cans because there's been deaths related to people drinking energy drinks, especially before exercise, and children that have been drinking energy drink. So you need to know that if you are thirsty, do not reach for an energy drink. This is not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. And especially if you're exercising, don't use energy drinks to replenish your liquids either, because that is going to hurt you as well. Number 1, you probably guessed it, soft drinks. So soft drinks have high fructose corn syrup in them, have a ton of sugar. 12-ounce can of soda has 9.5 teaspoons of sugar. It doesn't provide you the same fullness if you got those calories from food, so you tend to eat more, as well as that high fructose corn syrup turns off your feeling of fullness, or it delays it, so you do tend to eat more as well. And the average person drinks 2 times more soda than milk. Now, in the 1950s, we were drinking 2 times more milk than soda. So just think about that for a second. And then also, of course, soft drinks promote dehydration because they're loaded with sugar, they're loaded with sodium. So our body has to pull water from our cells in order to flush all that out. And this is the crazy thing about soft drinks, is that this is the only food that has been directly linked to causing obesity. So 25% of the calories that we consume in liquid and beverages are from soft drinks. So if you want an easy tip to lose weight, just stop drinking soft drinks and you will start losing, I promise. Now, I've got to say something about moderation because, you know, a lot of these beverages can be consumed in moderation without causing, you know, problems, without having a significant impact on your health. So every once in a while, okay, fine. If you're drinking these types of things every day, you really need to take into consideration changing your beverage consumption because it will have a significant impact on your health. Now, if you are thirsty and you are reaching for some of these drinks, you're actually telling your body you know what's better for it than it does. So your body needs water when you're thirsty. It doesn't need sugar. It doesn't need caffeine. It doesn't need calories. It just wants water. The simplest, you know, easiest thing to drink. It doesn't cost you money, and it's going to be the best choice for you. So not only are you getting extra calories and all the other crap that goes with a lot of these drinks, you're not giving your body what it needs. So hopefully this video has inspired you to change your beverage consumption because it will have an impact on your health. Take care of yourself.